Any animation enthusiast or historian out there should at least be familiar with the work of Fred Tex Avery. Avery began his career under Walter Lantz in the early 1930s, before moving over to Warner Brothers in 1935. He was put in charge of his own team, known as the Avery Unit. The group included up-and-coming directors Chuck Jones and Robert Clampett. During his time at Warner Brothers, Avery directed Porky's Duck Hunt in 1937 and A Wild Hare in 1940, which marked the debuts of both Daffy Duck and Bugs Bunny as we know them today. In 1941, Avery left Warner Brothers after a falling out with producer Leon Schlesinger. He went on to MGM and began an era that many consider to be Tex Avery's personal golden age. Avery had always been a believer that cartoons were not just meant for kids. Adults could enjoy them too. And many of his MGM cartoons express that.
This stuff's been cut.
While working on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, director Robert Zemeckis said that he wanted the movie to honor the types of cartoons that he grew up with. Tex Avery was one of the heaviest inspirations. So yeah, Tex Avery is a legend in the animation industry. We'll be talking about him a lot more later on, so for now, let's get to his first cartoon on this list, Northwest Hounded Police, at number 28. The story focuses on a wolf that escapes from prison and flees to Canada. Sergeant Droopy McPoodle of the Mounties is assigned to bring the fugitive back in. Avery himself voiced Droopy in this short, since Droopy's original voice actor Bill Thompson was serving in the Navy at the time. While Droopy is a big name in the cartoon industry, he's never really given a developed personality. That responsibility is usually reserved for his co-stars. Wolf tries to escape McPoodle, but is surprised when McPoodle shows up wherever he goes. And that's the basis of the cartoon. Wolf running all over the world trying to escape McPoodle. The gag was hardly an original idea by this point. While working at Warner Brothers, Avery directed a Bugs Bunny short called Tortoise Beats Hare, with Bugs trying to outrace Cecil Turtle, but no matter what he does, the tortoise always seems to wind up in the lead. When Avery first began working at MGM, he directed another short called Dumb Hounded, which marked the debut of Droopy, or as he was known back then, Happy Hound. Again, the premise featured a wolf that escapes prison and is constantly pursued by Droopy. So, if that's the case, why was Northwest Hounded Police placed on this list? What makes it stand out above the others? In my opinion, it's Wolf's expressions. With Bugs and the wolf from Dumb Hounded, their expressions upon realizing that they've been outwitted feel more restrained. In Northwest Hounded Police, though, every reaction the wolf gives is unique. You never know how he's going to react next. I'm sure everyone can name a modern cartoon series that was, in some way, inspired off of these expressions. Wolf is the heart of this cartoon. He is the one that the audience can relate to the most. The frustrations of trying to escape a problem, believing the problem is solved only to have it return and smack him in the face, is something that all adults can relate to. Life never gives us a moment to breathe. The gags of this cartoon may be recycled, but they are done so in a creative way that you just don't care. Northwest Hounded Police is a very entertaining short that was built upon the success of its predecessors, and I agree that it does rank among Tex Avery's best.